Right guys, welcome to this afternoon's higher tier live lesson. Okay, we're going to be doing rearranging formula. When you're settled and when you're ready to go, can you have a go at today's starter please? Again, if you're doing this lesson and you find this alright, okay, today's question of the day is also on rearranging formula, okay? So if you do find this lesson okay, have a go at today's question of the day and test out your skills. Quite a chunky starter with higher tier guys, so make sure I'll give you plenty of time, okay, to get all of that done. Okay, take your time with each question. Okay, there's a lot going on by there. Right guys, just over 2 minutes to go. Get as much done as you possibly can. I wouldn't expect you to finish it all. If you do, that's amazing. Right then, guys, so very quickly I'm going to go through each of these, okay? First one, this is the topic we did on Friday, okay? This is factorising and solving quadratics. Okay, so I'm going to put this back into two brackets first. I'm going to have x plus or minus something, x plus or minus something. It's to do with the numbers at the top, so it's either going to be times to make 12, add to make -7. If they're adding to make 7, obviously it's got to be a combination of 3 and 4. They're both going to be negative if it gives -7, because it's -3 and -4 add to make -7, and -3 and -4, two negatives times to make a positive, to positive 12. So my answer is x plus 3, x minus 4. That's my bracket, that's it factorised. Once you're there, you want to find out what x is, okay? So obviously these two brackets are multiplied together to make 0, okay? In order for them to multiply together to make 0, one of them has to be 0. Either this bracket or this bracket cancels out to make nothing. This bracket, 0 take away 3. For this bracket to make 0, that would have to be 3. For this bracket to make 0, that would have to be positive 4, because 4 take away 4 makes nothing. So your answer is x equals 3, x equals 4 for 3 marks on the first one. 2 points on that one. Next one. Right, so very straightforward solving equations. Always get rid of the smaller x first. Always get rid of the smaller letter because it makes it really nice to look at. Okay, I got 2x, take away 2, 3x take away 3x is nothing, all equal to 4. Add 2 to both sides. You can see how simple it is now. 2x moves straight down. 4 plus 2 is 6. If 2x is 6, x would have to be 3. Okay, that's worth 1 point. Because it is higher tier, it is very difficult. Next one. So write this as a single fraction, okay? So it is the same as when we do adding and taking away fractions. Exactly the same topic, okay? So what we normally do, we cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply the two bottom ones together. X take away 8 times by x. If I cross multiply then, x times 1 is just x. Minus goes in the middle. X take away times 1 is just one lot of x take away a. Okay. What happens is then the two x's will cancel each other out. If you multiply this bracket out, you get minus x plus a. So the two x's cancel, just leaving you with 1a on top. And the bottom stays as x minus a. There's no point in simplifying it any more than that. Expanding the bracket is no need. You can if you want to, it's up to you. But that is now a single fraction. 3 points. 0.064 recurring. Okay, the 6 and the 4 are the recurring digits, so we're going to have x equals 0.0646464, going on forever. Okay, I want to get both the recurring digits over the decimal point, so I'm going to times by 1,000 first. So 1,000x equals 64.646464 going on. Then I want to get the first recurring digit next to the decimal point. To do that, I'm going to times by 10. So now 10x equals 0.646464. What's the matter? Sorry, the dog's making weird noises. 1000x equals 64.646464. 10x equals 0.6464. Okay, if I take them away, 1000 take away 10 is 990. 64 take away 0 is 64. 64 take away 64, all these bits on the end, what you'll find is they cancel each other out. Okay, so what you end up is 990x equals 64. If I divide through, I know that x equals 64 over 990, which does simplify, I think, down to as a minimum 32 over 495. Okay, next one. That's 3 points. Next one. So 1 over 27 to the power of minus 2/3. Okay, I've got to use 3 rules here. I've got the minus rule, the power to the 2 rule, and the divided by 3 rule. So 3 rules. Do one at a time. The minus rule I'm going to do first. What that means is you either do 1 over whatever it is, or you flip it upside down if it's already a fraction. It's already a fraction, so I'm going to change it to 27 over 1, which is just 27. So 27 to the power of 2/3. Okay, easy stuff. We've used the first one already. Next, I'm going to do the bottom bit, which means cube root. Okay, whatever is on the bottom, if it was over a 2, it would mean square root. It's over a 3, so it means cube root. Cube root of 27. 3 times 3 times 3 makes 27. So I'm going to use that to get the answer 3. 3 squared. And then 3 squared is easy. 3 squared is just 3 times 3, which gives me 9. The whole thing done and simplified. Next one. Okay, I've got, now it should be a bracket by there, okay, there's not, but there should be, okay. I've got a bit of FOIL, so first two numbers times by each other. 8 times 6 is just 48. Then outside edges, I've got 8 times minus root 3, which is just minus 8 root 3. Inside edges, 6 times 5 root 3, you just do the 6 times the 5 and leave that at the front, which gives us 30 root 3. And then the last two, 5 times minus root 3 gives us negative 5, just stays there. Root 3 times root 3 cancels to leave us just the number 3. Minus 5 times 3 is just minus 15. So my answer is 48 minus 8 root 3 plus 30 root 3 minus 15 on the end. Now the bits that go together, the 48 and the 15 go together. 48 take away 15 is just 13. Minus 8 root 3 plus 30 root 3. It's the same as doing minus 8x plus 30x. Okay, you end up with plus 22. Instead of x, we're dealing in root 3s. So my answer is 13 plus 22 root 3. Job done. 1 mark. Okay, last 3. Okay, they are a little more difficult, but that's okay. Okay, a little bit of trig. Okay, label your sides first. Same steps every single time. I got my opposite. I got my hypotenuse. And I got my adjacent. Okay, write down your SOHCAHTOA. Okay, I want to get rid of the hypotenuse. So I'm going to get rid of that on both sides. Okay, because I got rid of hypotenuse, I've got rid of it because opposite has got 6, adjacent has got x. I don't need this side. Okay, so you get rid of the one you don't need. I'm left with TOA, so I'm going to be using my tan triangle. Okay, I'm left with TOA. Okay, because I'm using tan, I cover whatever I want. I want the adjacent. So I know I want the adjacent, so x equals, want that. If I cover that with my finger, whatever's left is your work, and your working out is opposite divided by tan of whatever the angle is. Opposite is 6, divided by tan, 54. And I just put that on my calculator, 6 divided by tan 54 gives me 4.36 centimeters. Really straightforward, and it is the same every single time, guys. If you want to write that down, do it at the end of the session when the video goes up. Okay, a little bit of simultaneous equations now. Again, very straightforward. Okay, lovely topic. Okay, I'm going to, because I want to get rid of these, I need to make them the same number. Okay, you don't have to change them though, only because the x's are the same. So I can actually do this as it is. I don't have to scale up, because the x's are the same. Normally I'd get rid of the y's, but if the x's happen to be the same, keep it the same. So if they're the same, you take away. Okay, so 4x take away 4x is just nothing. Okay, 4y take away minus 5y is the same as minus 4 add 5, which gives me positive y. 20 take away 13 is just 7, so y is 7. Once you've worked out y is 7, you can substitute that back into the top one or the bottom one, doesn't really matter. I'm going to go for the top one, okay? 4 lots of y, 4x, sorry, take away 4 lots of y, so take away 4 lots of 7, so take away 28, equals 20. So all I've done is taken the y is 7 and I've put it in the top one, okay? If I add 28 to this side, I end up with 4x equals 48. And then if I divide by 4, I end up with x equals 12. Right, last one. That was 3 points. Very last one. Bit of proportion. H is indirectly proportional to B when H equals 3 and B equals 10. So indirectly proportional means 1 over whatever you're talking about. Instead of 1 over, I'm going to write h equals k over b, with k being the constant I want to find. I know h is 3 when b is 10. So that would mean if I rearrange that, k will be equal to 30. So my formula, if we want to work out the second half, is h equals k is 30 over b. Now it says find the value of h when b equals 30. Okay? Millie, no. H equals 30 over 30. So h would equal 1. Guys, mark whatever you've done for me, please. Mark whatever you've done so far. Then we'll go add your scores. If you want to send me, sorry about the dog. If you want to send me your scores, please feel free to do so. Right then, so making stuff the subject, okay? Rearranging formula, very straightforward. Millie, I don't need you barking. Stop barking. Making stuff the subject, okay? If I want to rearrange this to make... Stop it! If I want to rearrange this to make x a subject, okay? I've got to just follow solving equation steps, okay? There's nothing changes, okay? All that happens is, though, you can't get an answer at the end. Sorry, the dog is barking through my head. Stop it. Stop it. E equals 8x plus g. Okay, I want to get x on its own, so I'm going to take away g from both sides first. What you end up with is, okay, you end up with e take away g, all equal to 8x. The plus g and minus g cancel each other out to leave you with nothing. Okay, I want to get x on its own, so next step, I'm going to do exactly the same as I would for solving equations. I'm going to divide both sides by 8. Okay, I end up with, on the left, I end up with e take away g all over 8. That's how you write divide when you're doing algebra. 8 divided by 8 just leaves me with 1x. So my answer that I'm going to put in red for you is x equals e take away g all over 8. Now what I'd like you to do, guys, can you have a go using the same steps? Have a go at that one over there for me, please. Right then, guys, so going through this one, okay, the one on the right hand side, same steps as you would normally with solving equations, okay? I want to get x on its own, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. On the left, I end up with f plus 5 equals 6x plus 5 minus 5 makes nothing. Then I divide by 6. So I end up with f plus 5 all over 6 is 6 divided by 6 just leaves me with 1x. So my answer in red is x equals f plus 5 all over 6. Now they like you to write it with the subject on the left hand side, so you may have to rewrite it on the last line. This is the most important topic you can use for maths A level, okay? If you get this nailed and get this understood, you'll fly at A level, okay? So make sure you get this topic understood and in your head, okay? Once you're there, guys, get that written down. Have a go at, actually, I'll go through the first one. Make an extra subject when you got something like this. Okay, once I've done this, I'll let you have a go at that one. Okay, m equals x over 6 minus p. Okay, same steps. I want to get rid of a minus p. So I'm going to add p. Do this in blue. I'm going to add p to both sides. If I add p to both sides, I end up with m plus p, all equal to x over 6. P minus P makes nothing on the end. It cancels it out. Next, I'm going to times by 6. Okay. If I times by 6, I end up with 6m plus 6p equal to times 6 divided by 6 cancel out, just leave x. So my answer for x equals 6m plus 6p. Okay, guys, make sure that's written down. That's a really clear example for you. Have a go at the one on the right hand side of him, please. Right, this one over here, I'm going to take away 5 first as my first step from both sides. And with m, take away 5 equals x over 6. Then I'm going to times through by 6 to both sides to get rid of that divide by 6. That would leave me with 6m, take away 30 equals just x on its own. So my answer, when you put the subject on the left, is x equals 6m, take away 30. Okay, should be nailed down. We should be getting better at this probably as we go through. Next one. Okay, I'm going to go through this one again. M equals j plus 2x all over 3. So I've got to get rid of that divided by 3 first. So I'm going to times through by 3 as my first step. I end up with 3m equals j plus 2x. Because the divided by 3 and the times by 3 cancel each other out. Next, I'm going to take away j from both sides. I end up with 3m, take away j. J take away j makes nothing, equals 2x. And then I divide through by 2 to end up with the final step. Okay, I've had to skip a few lines only because I've run out of space. I end up with the final step. If I divide by 2, x equals 3m, take away j all over 2. Okay, hopefully that'll make sense. Once you've got that example written down, guys, have a go at the one on the right hand side. All you do with rearranging formula is the opposite of whatever you're trying to get rid of. First things first, we're going to times by 4 to both sides to get rid of that divided by 4. So I end up with 4m equals 5x take away q. Then I'm going to add q to get rid of the take away q at the end. 4m plus q equals just 5x. Plus q and minus q cancel each other out to leave you nothing. And then if you divide through by 5, you end up with x equals 4m plus q all over 5. And that's your final answer. Guys, take that if you got it right. Next one. Right guys, first one on the left. Sorry, I was supposed to do this one for you, start us off. First one on the left, okay, what we've got. Okay, well done if you started already. I want to get x on its own, so I'm going to take away 2d from both sides. And with m, take away 2d, all equals x squared. And now I've got to get rid of an x squared, so in order to get rid of that, I've got to square root both sides. If you square root both sides, on the left hand side you end up with square root m, take away 2d. On the right hand side, the squared and the square root cancel each other out, just leave you with x. So my final answer, down the bottom, if we're going to put x as the subject on the left, x equals square root m, take away 2d. Okay, quite straightforward, just the square bit at the end might have thrown you off a little bit. Once you've got that written down, guys, have a go at the one on the right hand side. Right then, so, okay, on the right hand side, we're going to add d first to both sides. Add d, m plus d equals x squared. And then we're going to square root to get rid of that x squared. If I square root, I end up with, if I rearrange and put x on the left, I end up with x equals square root m plus d. Right guys, well done. So I'm going to give you a couple of questions to have a go at now. I'm not going to give you long if you tuned in live. Okay, I'm going to give you just over a minute. So if you're feeling good, start on D. Okay, if you're feeling good, maybe do the bottom row. Okay, I'm just going to give you just over a minute to get this done. If you're not tuning in live, you're welcome to pause the video or do whatever you like. Because I want to move on to a GCSE question to finish. It's quite a big one. Right then, so mark whatever you've done so far. If you didn't have time to finish, don't worry. Yes, that is supposed to be a divide sign, it's just gone a bit wonky. If you didn't have time to finish, you can have a go at these as soon as the session's done and uploaded, okay? It's fine. Okay, don't worry if you didn't have time to finish it all. Mark those up for me, guys. Mark whatever you managed to do. Maybe you did 1 or 2 questions, that's brilliant. Right, so the reason I rushed this on a little bit, I want us to have a go at this question by here. So I want us to get us T stuck into that. It's worth 5 marks. Okay, you've got to make C the subject now in this one. You've got to make C the subject of the formula. Actually, because before we do that question, I'm just going to go through one example for you first. Okay, looking at this one by here, before you get stuck into that, only because I know we might get come undone on the one we were just talking about. If you're making x a subject and a appears more than once, okay, you've got to factorize. Now, we're just going to get this example down. We're not going to worry about that question by there. You've got to factorize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write h equals, keep the left-hand side the same. I'm going to factorize on the right-hand side, and I'm going to take x out the side of the front as a common factor. So x at the front, if you take x away from the 3x, you're just left with 3. If you take x away from the ax, you're just left with a. So now with h equals x plus 3a. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide by, take the bracket and put it on the bottom over here. So I'm going to divide by 3 plus a on both sides. Okay, I end up with h over 3 plus a. On this side, those two bits cancel out, just leaving me with x. So my answer for x is h over 3 plus a. Okay, get that example copied down. I'll give you 10-15 seconds to get it copied down, then we're going to have a go at the GCSE question at the end. Right then guys, so what I'd like you to do, have a go at, if you see how far you can get into it, I'm going to go through it in exactly 2 minutes time, okay, which isn't long. You've got to try and make C the subject. Now it's out of 5 marks, so when you're rewarding marks, you get 1 for each step of working, so you feel free to be generous, okay, worth 5, worth a lot, take your time, okay? You've got 2 minutes to get it all done. Agree a C on its own. Right then guys, so I'm going to go through this one, okay? Again, if you haven't finished, don't worry, okay? C take away 5 equals 3C take away 7 all over D. So first things first, I don't want that D on the bottom, so I'm going to times both sides by D. If I times the left-hand side by D, I end up with CD take away 5D equals, this side, if I times that by D, the D and the D by there just cancel out, leaving me with 3C take away 7. Now, on all my things with C in on one side and all my things with everything else in on the other side. So I'm going to add 5D first to this side. I end up with CD equals, those two cancel out, 3C take away 7 plus 5D. Okay, then I'm going to take away 3C next to get 3C on the other side. If I do that, I end up with CD take away 3C, they cancel out, equals 5D minus 7. It doesn't matter which way around you write those. Once we're there now, exactly the same as I showed you just a second ago, I've got to take C out as a common factor. So I'm going to factorize. C comes out the front of my bracket. You're left with D take away 3 on the inside, all equal to 5D. 5D take away 7. Once we're there, all we're going to do to get our answer, we're going to divide both sides by D take away 3, this bracket, and what that'll do is it'll put him on the bottom of the bracket over here. So I'll end up with an answer of C equals 5D minus 7, which is already on this side, all divided by the bracket by here, all divided by D take away 3. Guys, if you got that right, that is a very, very difficult GCSE rearranging formula question. Okay, if you got that right, give yourself a big pat on the back. If you got some of it right, give yourself some marks out of 5, okay? It's quite deep into the paper, so if you don't get it all right, it doesn't really matter. Guys, really well done for tuning in. Really proud of all of you. I shall catch you soon.